Oh, goody.
We are jumping right into it. Davidson is ready.
Final time. Yep.
So we are too. We've got Wizard Beast on the bottom with Arcane Combo and Davidson on the top with this 4-caster opener that involves this dominant Varden. Whether or not Varden is good enough here, we'll see. And Wizard Beast hits us with the no Arcane open.
Wow. Is that the first time this tournament that's happened?
I think so. I think this is the first game one. Yeah. But this is sick, right? You just know that unfortunately this is going to come down to not even a flip. So it's going to get a little awkward because this is now dueling Zarellas. But
yeah, that's true.
We have a taunt from Wizard Beast. But the Zarellas should effectively just completely nullify each other's Samuros to the point where now Cornelius...
Corn's going to be pretty good, right? Like, because you can't, like... If you attack in and you get Zyrella, you're taking a lot of damage on your Samuro for, like, no reason, right? I mean, I guess you scale, but, like...
Yeah, I think... This is a really interesting one. And you see Wizard Beast kind of deciding between the two, because you could say that Davidson is just going to focus the Cornelius because they're expecting a taunt potentially here, and they do still go for the taunt. And we do see the shrink on Cornelius. So in this case, now the problem is Wizard Beast gets to scale their Samuro. Davidson gets one attack, but we see Wizard Beast trades in a ton of damage onto Davidson's
That's really
Samuro.
big.
Davidson does get the speed advantage here, which is massive, right? Like,
yeah,
can they convert
coming in clutch, and again, they're leaving Varden alone, as we've seen multiple other people do, because it's just like it doesn't seem Varden's just so awkward to kill, right? Because you see, Varden freezes your Samuro, you're not looking so good next turn, right? Like,
oof, yeah, yikes! There's literally nothing that they could do. Yeah, the Varden could do
because they could snipe it if they wanted to, right? Like,
it's close. There are all kinds of weird plays on Cornelius. I mean, Cornelius can heal for a lot here. Which that was kind of the one good part, is that again Davidson has a big life total advantage on their Samuro and looking to climb even higher with that. But yeah, there are some angles for Davidson here, because yet again we see this Varden just going unscathed.
Yeah, exactly, and like we've seen in the past few games, that has been pretty detrimental when you get into that kind of mid or late game and Varden's still sticking around fully healed. You just have a slow every turn, and then you have to start playing around the freezes and the cold snaps, and it gets tricky.
Ooh, okay. So this is not going to be a cold snap then. Wow, no, it is. Uh-oh. That makes me think that Davidson might have not done the math there, because that was... You basically know that there are a bunch of 5-speed options from Wizard Beast.
Yeah, so they can...
That was an empty cold snap that basically didn't steal a single ability. There were a ton of 5-speed abilities that were going under it, and now all of a sudden...
And now
Wizard Beast should have been slow this turn, and now they just steal everything, and now there's an endurance aura too.
So yeah, I think this definitely hurts for Davidson.
Actually, the endurance aura, I suppose, doesn't really matter here. This is probably just an Earth Stomp.
Not a ton. I think I like Earth Stomp better, to be honest. Yeah, average out the speeds, because they're going to be slowing you again. But they don't. I think the big thing is Samuro hasn't really been threatened by this opener. It's chilling 2067 right now.
Yeah, like, that's huge.
And Davidson's is dead. So that, I think we've seen a lot of when there are two Samuro starts, the person who can kind of snowball and protect their Samuro more does seem to have a bit of an advantage.
Yep, and so far the Samuros that have been able to survive have been the ones that have had that turn one taunt. So far, whenever there's been a Samuro that's died, like there are a series of like weird little ladder comparisons, or not ladder, but like a ladder in terms of a system. What we climb with, but like the idea that there's like, okay, do you both have a taunt? If yes, then follow this flowchart. If one of you has a taunt, then that Samuro is favored. If neither of you have a taunt, then the Zarella is favored, and the Brightwing is not favored. Like it just kind of goes down the line of what lines up with what. And now we've reached a point where there's going to be like there are some Earth Stomps here that get in some good damage on the Samuro, but the Davidson is again in this weird little like triple support spot. This has been maybe the one downfall so far of Davidson's comps, that you can actually end up on a not threatening board. And we definitely talked about that a lot earlier, of that the more scaling, the more threats seem to be the ones that were doing well, and finding yourselves in these triple support spots has been hard to get out of.
Yeah, for sure. It's just tricky, right? Like, I think another big thing about at least this first game is, if I were to take a guess, I would say Davidson might have been anticipating the lead that Wizard's been going with for most of the tournament, which is that Millhouse Arcane combo. And now it looks like they have that in the back instead. And I think that might have thrown Davidson off a bit. I think they might have been kind of predicting that start. And I think their start would have lined up a little bit better into that, which is why Wizard Beast opted to do something else.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Davidson labbed it out, right? And realized that, okay, actually, I kind of lose to Arcane, so I kind of have to swap or do something. I mean, we see a Cold Snap, right? Like, the Endurance or Cold Snap's juicy, but... again, the health totals are just so low, and this is Wizard Beast kind of coming into that spot where it's like the fire combo that gets disrupted over multiple turns. But actually, weirdly, there's Tyrande kind of has the
turning
good
it
version
around,
of it.
kind of though.
Yeah,
I think Davidson's in a bit of a better position than I expect them to be. Again, that Varden is just being totally left alone, and Wizard Beast's units are getting kind of whittled down here.
Yeah, and this Tyrande, like, what is ever dealing damage to this Tyrande? Like,
yeah,
Zarella targeting it feels horrible. The Varden slow tickles every turn.
Yeah.
The Blinding Luminance to slip it up, and the Blinding Luminance trade, that does kill. But yeah, I mean, Arcane Shot does a ton. Wow, they actually just focused on the Cairn. They say, sure, again, this is what I'm saying, just keep your support ups. I don't care. Keep your support mercs alive. I will try to grind through them. And now this is a use Tyrande to copy your Millhouse, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a good little AoE, but I'm actually not even sure if it kills.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's strong, but there's Irella's weaker. Davidson has another merc on the bench still, which is really big, because if it comes down to a 2v3 and that's really a 2v4, that's kind of hard when you have a Brucon at full health, you have a Varden at almost full health, and another unit right on the bench. Like, I really thought in the beginning it felt like Wizard Beast had a good, leading position, but somehow Davidson managed to kind of flip it around.
Yeah, no, I think we totally might have just called this a little bit too early. I mean, Mercenaries has a penchant for being not only insanely difficult to read how things are going to go, especially when players have so many options, but just these players in this community, even still, we just don't even really understand like how to identify power curves yet, right? Like actual power spikes, actual like building your comp to do something insanely good on this turn every time. Like, we really aren't at that level yet, and so it's almost kind of hard to figure out like what is what. But
yeah,
this is going to be very close. It's way closer than it looks, because there are some like double greater arcane missile angles here. I mean, there's some goofy stuff.
No, yeah, I mean, we're just not used to it's a very new experience casting some Millhouse, right?
Ooh,
Like
just an arcane bolt. And did they want to copy that? That was the kind of, I decide to not double my next arcane spell, but now your next arcane spells are very slow.
They're so slow, and
I wonder if that was a slight
can they set
ordering.
up a freeze here with the Varden potentially?
Ooh, another cold snap.
Yeah.
There are some some cheeky flash heals here, but
you can get around it a little bit, right? Potentially, but
and especially with Muddy Footing from Brucon, actually, because you just ripped your Chain Lightning. Yeah, actually, Davidson's looking nice. Wow.
Yeah, no, he's in a commanding position here.
And I think a big part of this,
like, it just happened in like a turn or two. It just completely flipped around. I think once the Samuro was gone, Wizard Beast's advantage it feels like the combo off the bench isn't performing as strongly as we were seeing it from opening.
No, I think definitely right. Okay, but I mean, we get the double. Okay, like huge AoE here from Millhouse, but I guess a cold snap steals nothing, right? Again, they got to act entirely.
Yeah. The damage isn't bad though. Like,
and
because now Zyrella's done, and then it's and again, you still have. I think again, this came down to leaving the Varden alone. Those slows they really hurt Wizard Beast this game, and it's tough because it's like you can't, even if you kill him, you're not slowed maybe, but you have one less merc to use the next turn, and you're taking 8 damage, which is kind of relevant given how low HP our mercs are here. But yeah, 3 versus 1. Davidson's gonna take game 1.
Wow, no, that was actually
round
huge.
1, not game
1. Game 1 of the round, I guess. A little awkward, but no, honestly, insane. I mean, that was a really funky switch up. We didn't expect, like we said, that was actually the first time that we saw Wizard Beast audibled off of their arcane opener for turn 1.
Yeah.
Right. We saw it in
First
some
in
other
this
spots
tournament.
where it was in like game 3 and it was a mind game at that point. I mean, this was obviously clearly a mind game here, or at least a call, but it didn't work out. Maybe coincidence, who knows? And now it's up to Wizard Beast to kind of decide, because Wizard Beast is the one that they have the free win, right? Davidson has to get a bracket reset here. So this is going to be a squeaker, but Davidson currently running hot off of defeating their villain, off of clutching it through loser's bracket, and now with an unexpected win potentially in this game 1, where there were some shenanigans right off the bat and they came out ahead with Varden yet again stunting on them.
Yeah, I really thought getting killing Davidson's Samaro early on, I thought was really going to put him in a bad spot, because he had such a caster focused lineup. And I thought, Wizard Beast still having their Samaro around can kind of quickly kill 1 or 2 casters, and then they can just shut down the game. But Davidson really managed to turn it around there. So I'm sure you've got to have Wizard Beast thinking, do I actually go arcane lead now and see if that combo is worth here? Because he does have a little bit of luxury in that even if he does lose this round, then now we're going to the what's the word for that? The
reset,
bracket
the
reset.
next
Yes,
round. Yeah,
that's the word.
The bonus round.
Because Davidson is coming from the losers bracket. But man, what a story that would be to climb your way up all the way through the losers bracket and then taking down the bracket reset in the finals. That'd just be absolutely insane. He's been playing very well this game.
And I mean, they can Wizard Beast has some funky angles here to potentially do their best Davidson impersonation, because there is a Varden and a Blink Fox in Wizard Beast's sideboard. So there could actually be a literal mirror opener against
that could
against
be
Davidson
really cool.
here, where both open with Zarella Samuro and Varden.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. It looks like Wizard Beast has opted to. Yeah. They bring in the Varden.
So they swapped out. So Wizard Beast ended up exchanging Cairn for Varden. And now
I like that a lot, actually. I think that's a great play. I don't think Cairn gets you a lot of utility here.
Yeah, especially against quadruple caster, where Davidson ran it back, presumably.
Yeah,
right?
It looks like they have. I'm guessing Davidson ran it back with the same. And frankly, like we were talking about earlier, I think that's a good move. Davidson, it's on Wizard Beast to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
To figure out how they have to kind of overcome. Because I really thought they were in a pretty commanding position last game, but Davidson managed to find a way around it.
Yeah, and Wizard Beast literally, exactly as I said, that's too funny. They said, all right, I am Davidson now. What are you going to do? Is Davidson going to try to be Davidson, or is Davidson going to be somebody else? You see Samuro.
Let's see.
You see Zarella, and we see Varden. All right, the straight up mirror. Are there maxed differences here? Nope, everyone's playing with maxed mercs. That's good.
Yep, all maxed out.
Coin flips don't matter. I mean, this is what the decision here is, what do you do with your Samuros? I think actually both of them have to click the exact same buttons, right? You both have to target each other's Samuros with your Zarellas. You then both have to target each other's Samuros with your Samuros. Yeah. What this is actually going to come down to is who attacks first with their Samuro, because they will get to take the least amount of retaliation damage, stack their attack, and then do the most back. So that's what's going to determine how we then go into turn 2, where things will get interesting, because then we'll have mirror images and whirling blades to consider. All right, let's see.
Curious how
Davidson bumps first.
Davidson's going to deal with an opposing Varden, because I don't think he's been up against one yet this comp. Because there aren't that many Vardens, right?
Nope, very few Vardens. Yeah, can Davidson play the Varden mirror? Because so far they have not had to run into that yet. But now the good part is both of you are exactly the same.
4 Vardens in the whole tournament. So 2 in the side, sweet. 2 in mains.
I'd love to see it. Here, my instinct absolutely is I'm trying to go for some mirror images. I want to start stealing away as many Varden slows as I can. If you can high roll and put one onto a mirror image, now all of a sudden you get a speed advantage.
Huge.
And that's
huge. I think that's a great line. I think you just kind of, especially if we've learned anything about mercenary mirrors, you really just kind of got to go for it. I think
I mean, technically there is an interesting spot where, again, one player might get baited into that, right? Because realistically, you can start stacking this double strike. There's nothing stopping you now, and now you're actually getting legitimate crit damage. So even though you might get tempted by that by delaying the Varden speed up or the Varden slowdown, like I was thinking about, and we see Wizard Beast queuing up the cold
You're trying
snap.
to get a snap off.
That's got to be just way too slow, right? There are too many abilities that are already like kind of fast.
They are slowed by the Varden, though, right? Aren't they operating on like same speeds again? Because they both are slow.
Right, that's true. Okay, so we do see a mirror image.
Yeah, so I think
both sides mirror image. Wow. Okay,
yeah.
so they ended up back on the same plan, but some different targets. We see does one going on. No, it dodges the mirror image.
Oof.
Right? I think it dodged the exact mirror image and it hit the Samuro to kill it.
Yeah, that's wow.
Okay,
going
so
down Samuro.
Yeah, that is big. Davidson, like we said, Davidson was the one who had the Samuro life total advantage, and they did convert it into keeping him up here. But is that a good thing? Really?
Yeah.
I don't think either player is aware of the fact that, do I want to lose my Samuro first? This is something that you might learn playing real ladder, playing real, not Pauper Mercenaries. You might be able to know this position, but I guarantee you these players do not know.
Yeah, it's a tricky position for sure. Like last game we thought that Wizard Beast keeping his Samuro up while Davidson's went down first. Thought that was a commanding kind of position. Davidson turned it around, so we could see the same thing kind of reverse here, where Davidson has his Samuro sticking around, but maybe that's not as good as we initially thought it is.
Yeah, because I mean here, right, like this is again now Wizard Beast, the one with the triple support merc. That keeps happening a lot apparently, but this
Corn seems great. Corn seems incredible here. Yeah, honestly,
Cornelius is just gonna hang out for a while. Unfortunately, he's gonna get kind of lit up over a series of turns.
Yeah, he's not long for this world. You know, there are 2 casters on the board, but I think the healing and protecting from Samuro, I think he's doing more than enough. Like I think he's doing exactly what he needs to do here.
It's actually kind of surprising that the Samuro went for the I guess they might have had to go for... Oh, they would have died if they had tried to attack into the Cornelius potentially. But I think the Zarella ended up shrinking the Cornelius attack anyways. Like I'm kind of surprised that the Samuro from Davidson ended up going for the Whirling Blade just to get the AoE onto the little guys. I feel like it might have been better to try to go for taking down this Cornelius. Because yeah, how are you getting through this guy? I know there are more blue mercs on the side, but there's a lot of healing now.
He'll die eventually, but the fact that it's just healing... those other 2 Varden so much.
This is a lot.
It's pretty big. I mean, Davidson's Varden is still pretty healthy as well, so that is important to note. But Zyrella's getting down. Like it's, I think I want to say Wizard Beast is doing a little better here.
Yeah, I mean, this Tyrande is a real problem. They were hovering it before. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't jam the Tyrande earlier instead of the Cornelius. I guess maybe they were too spooked of the...
Yeah, I think they were scared of Samuro, which I think is fair.
Yeah, because, I mean, here now, this Tyrande just 40s one of these casters if you want it. Like, this is just going to go, kill your blue guy, essentially forcing... Ooh, geez, Wizard Beast gets another blue guy to start farming. But at this point now, all of a sudden, you have too many blue guys. Davidson, if anything, gets to play around the fact that they have an odd typing by instead defending their type by all-inning on it, which is pretty cool.
And another thing, I mean, we've seen Davidson overcome this, but they don't have any fighters to kind of deal with Wizard Beast predominantly caster manning units. However, we've seen they didn't need fighters last game.
Nope.
So
I mean, every time
need it again, right?
Every time I think we've seen Wizard Beast running these, or sorry, not Wizard Beast. It's actually been Davidson who's been the one who's been running all these casters and just crushing these teams. It seems like they should be favored against them. I think every time we've watched them so far, we're like, oh, 4 casters against 3 fighters. Who's gonna win? I wonder. And it was 4 casters. No one's expecting that, I don't think.
I think that was an upset. Like, I really think we thought that Samuro would kind of shut down those strategies, but it seems like just on his own or just him and Zyrella isn't really enough. Like, Samuro gets focused and dies, and there doesn't seem to be another fighter that really does what he does to the same extent, at least in Pauper.
Yeah, not like a point focus kind of. I mean, honestly, Tyrande is maybe the closest example, but and like Tyrande has looked like a great call in that reason. Yeah, that the taunts are the ones stopping Samuro. There are all these things getting in the way, but Tyrande just goes around it and has a combo potential. So I like it, but I mean, she just got chain lightning bounced though, which is really tough.
Yeah,
I don't think we were expecting the Tyrande. I don't think we were necessarily expecting the Brucon here from Wizard Beast, and that positioning might have been preferring to put the Varden in the middle.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that because you want to kind of get that damage and freeze from the Varden, and now you might not get that till this turn, or even later if they just try and ignore it. Because I think at this point, I really don't mind ignoring the Varden. I think you kind of want to, because you have a advantage in terms of mercs on the bench and health advantage. Kind of. Well, it's pretty close on health. It's not too much of a health advantage.
Yeah, it's weird to see these games going and like, just crit you, kill you. Straight up, Brucon's gone.
Yeah, wow.
Essentially just got 2-tapped there. That's insane. No, but I mean, it's so weird to see these, like, the numbers are so small, oddly.
They're changing the positioning around.
Yep. Well, now a little bit too late now, I think, at this point. I don't think there's anything to play around. Oh, I guess there are some weird Blink Fox things, but
maybe
showing us maybe that they knew that they should have gone.
The Fox roll could be kind of big.
Yeah.
Depending on what it gets.
Because the fact that the Tyrande got so lit up, which was basically one of your only ways to kind of squeeze out of this game, I think. But even just the Karen Earth Stomp, even the Karen just attack is good enough into the Tyrande. And the fact that the Tyrande never got to line up with this Millhouse, like imagine if that chain had bounced on someone else and there was a Millhouse plus a Tyrande. Now instead we have the worst possible scenario where the Tyrande's low. Every other merc is also low, but not dead.
Slow.
You really wish
how
that
slow
was
they are.
the other way around. Yeah.
Like I really think Davidson might have done it again. They really found a kind of way to disassemble the combo of that Wizard Beast was kind of going for, and it seems to be working for them, right? Even with Karen frozen here, you're fine, right? Like I think Davidson should be able to get here. You know, you get the kill on the Zyrel, and it's just Millhouse. And how does Millhouse 3v1? Like, especially against a Varden.
No, he sure does not. He sure does not. I mean, really, this is Wizard Beast moving away from the arcane combo, right? Like, this is kind of seeing the same kind of thing that happened to Dynoob that had the fire combo that got split up. If you split it up, I mean, it's out of desperation, right? Or supposedly, because you're saying, like, I have to change off of my assumed game plan in order to get an edge, but then
and I almost
didn't have a coherent opener that didn't just lose equity in the late game.
I feel like almost having the Samuro on the bench might have been good. I think the only reason they really needed it out initially was because they needed to threaten the other Samuro. I think that was the big thing. So
you're right. Wow. That was Wizard Beast. That was Wizard Beast saying, I'm going to be Davidson, right? That was Wizard Beast committing to the mirror match and then hard losing the mirror match because they just didn't have the plan. I mean, essentially Dynoob is saying, or sorry, not Dynoob. Davidson says, like, I have a plan for being me. You don't. You haven't been here yet, right? Like, you're trying to copy me because I'm putting the squeeze on you. And Davidson gets the bracket reset, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the 2-0. Now we're going into pure.
Final
now it goes back
here.
into, like, losers finals, I think, technically, or winners. I forget what it gets called.
I don't know what it's called, but this is it.
But it's hype. That's what it is.
This best of 3 is going to be the winner for the whole show. And I think you made a great point. Like, I think Wizard Beast was trying to leverage the kind of what Davidson was doing, but Davidson has had the advantage of playing through the whole losers bracket, so I gotta imagine he knows this comp pretty well by now, and I think that really gives you an advantage when you're running into a mirror match that you probably have never seen before.
Yeah, and this is definitely the time. Like, this is a spot where tempo, it actually favors Davidson, even though they came from the kind of the losing position coming into this finals here, because I mean, Wizard Beast has literally just been like sitting on his thumbs for the last hour or something like that. Like, they cruised to winners finals, and then had to wait. And Davidson has just been throwing down, scrapping, beating people, getting in the mood, getting in the zone, and they're doing great. And so far, they have the tempo. Yes. Okay. Good call. So this is a spot now where we are back. Since this is a reset, we go back to the original 6 mercs that they had to lead with. So we're flopping positions here. We're watching Davidson now. So we were watching Wizard Beast last time. So Davidson is on their tried and true Zarella Samuro Varden with the solid backline. I mean, didn't even give themselves the option of audibling, right? Like, I don't think they changed it all. And Wizard Beast goes for another weird one.
All right. So Samuro, I think this comes down to what I said before. I think Davidson's probably leading Samuro because that's the lead he's found very strong. And I think you are almost kind of forced to lead your own Samuro as Wizard Beast, because I just don't think the arcane combo is threatening enough to kind of deal with their Samuro before he kind of scales too much and starts dealing with his mercenaries.
Yeah, I honestly kind of wish that we could see one of these games. All right, so ooh, whoa, cute. Okay, so Wizard Beast actually not going for the taunt heal here, which I guess makes sense. Wait, does that mean they're attacking? Ooh, we do get the full snipe though, and we one-shot the Zarella because of that. Whoa, okay,
They
so
went in.
We ended up trading Cornelius for Zarella. That feels probably really good for us from Wizard Beast side.
Yeah, I think that's good for Wizard Beast, because now you're making it kind of awkward to combo your Samuro, right?
Yep, and now this is kind of now the Samuro really isn't getting triggered here, but I mean, he's healthy, and now we're getting into some weird little Cairn back and forths where these Earth Stomps are tempting, these Endurance Auras are tempting, but Davidson is going to be finagling for when can I Cold Snap you? That is what we are looking for, which definitely makes me think that Davidson wants to just jam the Earth Stomp here to set up for next turn, but
yeah,
I don't know, maybe Wizard Beast is supposed to read that and focus down this this Varden, because if you don't go for it, right, if you force the taunt out of Davidson here, or Davidson basically has to have the taunt forced, because right now Wizard Beast is representing just a lethal kill Varden. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, also one thing to note, Karen is not maxed on Wizard Beast side, and it is maxed on Davidson's. Don't know if it'll be relevant, but one thing to note, because all the other ones have been same all maxed out so far.
Okay, that's big then. And so we see some trades here. Some Endurance Auras were won by... So actually, no, we saw for the first time a difference in Karen's strategy, where Davidson actually didn't go for the taunt, which we were saying that, like, they're almost forced to, it seems, because you can one-shot the Varden, but that's when the mind games yet again showed up, where Davidson actually got to now not only get an Earth Stomp off, waste the Endurance Aura from Wizard Beast, and still have a Cold Snap angle here, I think. This is just a super disaster for Wizard Beast.
So Davidson's Karen actually lived because it was max there.
Yes.
Already coming up, right? Like now,
if that was a Wizard Beast Karen, it's dead.
You could argue that might not be super beneficial because it could get sniped now by the Zyrella and denied an action for your turn. So it might actually have not been beneficial to live there. Because
here the Zyrella is slowed, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the slow.
Which is helpful.
Then then it's very good that the Karen survived.
Yeah, the Karen being at 3 years is actually gigantic, because I think this is actually also
that makes a big difference.
I think this is a Cold Snap turn where they're even looking. Look at that. We're queuing up an ancestral. We're trying to literally kill our own Karen here just to take it off so we don't get sniped.
That's smart. I like that a lot.
Whirling. Oh wait. Okay. That was the good way. I wasn't sure if I thought that was going to go backwards, where the ancestral uppercut actually layered before the Cold Snap, set it up perfectly. Karen, it looks like, killed himself with the attack and then healed.
Yeah, that's a cool interaction.
I
didn't know
really
that worked that way.
Yeah,
I did not know it could work like that, to be honest. That's really cool. That's some heads up play from Davidson.
No, that's great. And now we see Wizard Beast. Unfortunately, Wizard Beast is now not slowed, right? There was a Cold Snap, but I mean, it just took everything. Well, these Cold Snaps have been crazy, and there are some flips, right? We are back again to some Endurance Aura things, because Wizard Beast had their Karen snipes. They can do whatever they want. But, I mean, Davidson's Karen can't get sniped. Varden, full health. Samuro, full health. 2 mercs on the side from both, but a huge health advantage for Davidson.
Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty hard to I think come back from this position just based off health. Again, Varden, full HP.
Yeah.
Again, Varden slows, just totally screwing things up for Wizard Beast.
As we see yet another. I mean, even though Wizard Beast got to tank one of the flurry slows from the Varden, it wasn't enough, and we see a Karen at 30, Zarella up 7. I mean, now at this point, every turn that you can't kill the Varden means that the Varden's going to just end up stealing, again, like I said, one of your 2 remaining apples when you're down to nothing left. And yet again, Wizard Beast has this Arcane combo split up. I want to see Wizard Beast bring it back with the Arcane opener. I just want to see it. So far, you've just been getting kind of rolled with this split Arcane in the back line. Like, I really want to see this Tyrande being leveraged to snipe out these Vardens, to snipe out these Zarellas.
Yeah, it's interesting. And if you think about it, they did actually have an opportunity to lead like that with this game. They did not have to lead Samaro because that combo is a part of their main bench.
Right.
Their
Yep, they had the opportunity.
main six. So they could have done that this game, but it seems they still feel better about kind of going for the Samuro face-off, which just so far hasn't really seemed to work out.
Yeah, Varden has just been when you're kind of going into these semi-mirrors, Varden has just made Zarella so awkward. Like that's really been one of the biggest parts. Is like when Zarella's 5-speed, I mean, at least your Brightwing is still, again, like we said, like doing something.
Yeah.
But get a little bit of good damage here. I mean, we got some mini trades, but Blink Fox now here. Both teams down to their final little bit. But yeah, I mean, Wizard Beast has just been reduced to scraps at this point. And yeah, I mean, Blink Fox is coming off of Davidson every time so far off the deep bench, and it's just looked again like they're playing with legendaries. It looks like they're playing with Task 7s. I mean, this Blink Fox could just be the hyper competitive one. It's high rolled like crazy, right? I think Blink Fox from Davidson has hit that Judgment of Humility in some insanely clutch moments. But Blink Fox being leveraged by very few other players has looked great.
Yeah, and definitely those high rolls alone weren't like enough to win games, right? Like I think having to make those correct plays to get to the point where a high roll can be super impactful, like it's important. And Davidson's just been playing, I think, really well.
Yeah. The bracket reset is Davidson is one game away. I mean, Davidson has rattled off. I mean, what is he on right now?
It's crazy. This is
he's literally won.
Don't call
After
it a
getting
comeback.
Davidson literally got knocked out in round 2 by Diamond.
Round 2, wow.
They won round 1, they 2-0'd, and then they got 0-2'd. And then so far they are on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 game win streak.
That's
not
insane.
Like they have not dropped a game in 11 straight. That is disgusting.
That's insane.
You have to imagine that they have settled onto a hot one. And I mean, really, what I want to see is I want to see the Arcane opener, right? I want to see if that can work because it's so far it seems like that's Wizard Beast's only option. We've
they need to try something new.
Weakness.
Smuro's just not working. I mean, they do have the option of doing some sideboard stuff now, so I do expect, especially on Wizard Beast's side, to really take some time thinking about that because you got to be sweating in this position. Like you had the advantage going into, placing in the winner's bracket, and now you're down. One more game and Davison closes it out.
Yeah, this is game point for match point, tournament point for Davidson, and Wizard Beast has to 2-0 reverse sweep to clutch it out from here. But I mean, this is absolutely a point where the momentum could swing. Either this is where Davidson has to clutch it together and kind of just drive it over that finish line there, or this is that last moment of faltering where Wizard Beast can kind of get that all in. They've been training with Davidson slowly, right? This could be the ultimate long con from Wizard Beast, that this is a force Davidson into a spot where they know Arcane is not coming, or put the fear into them. But there's only one way to find out, and that is deciding from the players. What do they see? Do we see Arcane from Wizard Beast? We do!
All right.
Only opportunity.
Yeah, I think
we see the same opener from Davidson.
You got to try something different because the other ones aren't working, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, sorry, what you said, that was a good one.
Oh no, I just think you gotta try something different here as Wizard Beast, because Davidson is just running it back and it's working well. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. Like make your opponent have to figure out how to counter you.
And I actually love Wizard Beast. It looks like if you look at their bench, we see 2 more casters hanging out over there. That probably means that could be a Blink Fox.
Yeah,
kind of again trying to mimic some Davidson synergies here, but now like Blink Fox can do some crazy weird stuff in the late game that again Davidson has not really prepared for. They have not really seen any opposing Blink Foxes, but this Cornelius looks pretty good, and we're gonna get the combo. But again, the problem is we're not getting any crits, but we do get a huge laser from Wizard Beast from the Toronto.
What if it's Fox and Varden off the bench, and if they just decided to ditch Cyrella, but then Samuro gets a little bit worse, so maybe not. Wow, Cornelius took a beating.
Yeah, Cornelius got lit up, but
the other two are nice and safe for now.
Yeah, wow, interesting. I wonder if they actually wanted to attack with that Cornelius. I guess it got hit by the Zarella, so it didn't do anything. But I wonder if you actually just preferred a dead Cornelius here from Wizard Beast. This is one of those spots where, like, if you had led with Arcane earlier, we might have realized this outcome, which is in Davidson's favor, right? By pushing their opponent to the limit and not giving them time to practice. Now, Wizard Beast, though they've kind of come onto a spot where they might be able to squeak out of this, this is a new spot that they might have had time to practice, because I think a dead Cornelius here would have been a lot better. But you just don't have another taunt, so maybe the Samuro would have run away with it, but the Samuro still gets to.
Yeah, I think Cornelius is a little bit alright here, because it just like it living is alright, because it messes up being able to just go for like the easy snipe on the Millhouse. I mean, we still get a lot of damage on the Millhouse.
Yeah, this is
as
good.
Davidson.
Like, we cash it in, we get the Var, or no, so we kill the Zarella, put a good amount of damage down, but I don't know, our Tyrande is looking, I mean, Millhouse is essentially dead.
Yeah.
But
Blink Fox is probably going to get the snipe depending on what it rolls.
Yeah, the Blink Fox could hit something.
So they have Arcane Shot, so they actually can't snipe it with
Ooh, okay, we saw
Fox.
The Arcane Shot, is that what you saw?
Yeah, and I think it's not enough to snipe here.
No, that would be 2 speed, wouldn't it? It would be 2 speed.
Oh, I don't think speed.
Oh no,
because
damage.
It's not. Or if the number I saw was correct there. I only saw it for a second.
Yeah, because I think technically it would still, like, the stolen aim shot would be
level 3 ability on Fox. That's what it was.
Okay.
This is what we talked about earlier.
Right. Yeah. The not leveled up.
And it's on it's Millhouse. It's a Millhouse ability, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait. So this is Davidson's Blink Fox that had stolen a Millhouse ability. Okay. All right. Well, regardless, let's see here. So we got the Arcane Explosion actually gets off.
Yeah, it does.
But then the Whirling Blade, good damage. Arcane Shot kills the Varden, right? The Varden finally dies.
Yeah, we're finally seeing a Varden death here.
But is it enough? I mean, this freeze is just gigantic. The
the
Samuro
freeze
is still
so
alive.
Big. Freeze is so big here. It's tricky, right? I think Davidson's in a pretty good spot here overall.
I mean, even Davidson's own Varden got to get the flurry off before it died, and then froze the yet another ability. Ooh, wow, we actually do see the Varden Blink Fox, like you said, off the bench to go for some of these super speed up.
Yeah.
Cold snaps potentially. We see the Chain Lightning and good positioning from the Varden. I wonder if you could make the argument that you wished that you'd put the Tyrande in the middle to play around the Chain Lightning.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point, because you could also make the argument that maybe it's not the worst thing in the world if your Varden gets a little bit more damage, because maybe at the end of the game the Death Rattle's relevant, depending on what's left. Right?
Yeah, I mean, these late games right now, I mean, what's this really going to come down to? Wizard Beast has an anemic Tyrande at this point. She's just frozen. Yeah. She literally can't do anything. She's just going to die, almost guaranteed. The Blink Fox is at 30. I mean, super low health Blink Fox. And just one random, probably the Samuro on the bench for Wizard Beast. Ooh. The clutch Ice Lance.
Yeah, the freeze.
Ooh, the good bounce technically, but the lightning bolt damage.
Heal with Karen. Interesting.
Looking okay. Oh, sorry, not the lightning bolt damage, but the chain lightning. Yeah, ended up bouncing the good way, I think, where it ended up overkilling onto the.
Yeah,
they overkilled onto the super low health Tyrande, which is good. Now Samuro is here. Can Samuro carry this? I don't know. We got a mana blink off though. I mean, the Wizard Beast.
I think it depends on what.
This a cold... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Actually,
this is Wizard because Wizard Beast got to resolve a mana blink.
Yeah, they could get a cold snap off here on the Samuro potentially, right? Or even the Karen. But I think you want to do Samuro.
I think you get it on the Cairn.
Depends what Blink
I think
rolls,
you get either
right?
One. Yeah, the Blink Fox.
We don't know what Wizard Beast Blink Fox skill 3 is right now. So that could determine a lot. That could change a lot of stuff depending on what Blink Fox has.
Yeah. Oh, man. Actually, it's so awkward that the Samuro... Oh, wait, no. The Samuro just came off the bench here. Oh, my God. Wait, if Wizard Beast... Yeah, it really all depends on what this Blink Fox is, because the Cold Snap even triggers the double strike from the Samuro that will let it gun down this...
Yeah.
Brucon, if we do get the Cold Snap that kills the
Samuro scales here.
Ancestral Uppercut for 20, and the Cold Snap gets there. No, it does. The Cold Snap's just short. Did they count wrong? Wizard Beast loses the Blink Fox. But then Samuro gets to go through and still doesn't even kill the Brucon either.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Something must not have went right there.
And now, I mean, everybody's at low. Technically, oh God, yeah, if they were slow, if only Wizard Beast had, if this was a flurry turn and these were all low, then Varden might have actually been able to get a 6-speed. No,
yeah,
no, because the Karen would have been at 5 speed from the Varden, and so they still could have Endurance Sword under it. But then, like, your Samuro can still do some stuff. Oh no, Wizard Beast in a squeaker. But I mean, the thing is here, actually, Wizard Beast still has this freeze, right? Like, Wizard Beast still gets to steal an entire action if they can loop an invisibility with this Whirling Blade.
Yeah, it's close.
Whirling
this
Blade
game is actually really close right now.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt kills it, takes down the. And the Blink Fox off the bench might be too much.
Yeah, I think Blink Box is gonna be too much here.
Wow. Yeah, that was.
What did they
steal too?
What's that? 12 straight wins.
Just like that.
Wow.
The Cinderella story is completed.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Davidson on the absurd, I think it was a 14-0.
12. I think it was 12.
Yeah, I think 12. Yeah, maybe 11-0 going into that.
Yeah, 11-0. Yeah, I think 12 or actually no, you're right. 14 because we had the double. You're right. Reset. Yeah, that's right because of the bracket reset. I forgot about literally 14-0. Insanity. That is crazy. Like what a story for the first Pauper Open, right? Like that was just, those were some great games, great comps, great players. That was just so much fun to watch. That was really fun. I had a lot of fun.
That was a blast. I mean, there's so many cool narratives. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite parts about these kind of tournaments is like, we don't know what's going on when we come into this. We see the deck list when you guys see them, essentially. Our players see the deck list when we see them, and they've never really been in these positions before. What the heck happens? Varden, honestly, hilariously, kind of showing their weight back from, they were dominant in the first tournament as well, and showing, even in Pauper, still really good. But the players, is it a coincidence that the two players in the finals had Vardens in their full lineups, including their sideboards? I don't know. Both of them had Blink Fox too. I don't know. Some coincidences here, but really insane games. Props to Davidson. And yeah, I mean, insane run for Wizard Beast as well too. Just like cruising straight in winners finals.
Oh yeah, right into the finals.
Actually, I think they ended up losing in the finals of the world's first tournament as well to Leaf. So I mean, like I said, a champion of the finals. We see them everywhere. We're gonna keep recognizing their name in some of these community tournaments. But props to Wizard Beast. Super sick, taking Arcane all the way to the finals. But you certainly cannot upset Davidson, who literally even killed his villain. He killed his killer to take him down and run it all the way up. So
that was nuts.
Awesome.
That was just like super fun. This couldn't have gone like better if we planned it this way, right? Like, when do you see a 14-0 return from the losers bracket to close it out? That's just props to Davidson for just being able to keep your kind of mental and strategy after playing that many games, because that is a lot of mercenaries. We started at 7 p.m. EST. It is just 11:45 right now, so we've been going for almost 5 hours, and Davidson's been playing for the majority of that time.
Yeah, he's been on cameras nonstop.
Yeah, so it's been a really fun kind of again to watch him kind of come back, fight the rival and Noob who knocked him out before, and just go all the way to our other kind of undefeated finalist. And it was just fantastic games. Really cool getting to see the kind of different comps that get brought to an event like this. And I think at least looking at the chat, everyone's been seeming to enjoy it. So I think this is something we could definitely see ourselves doing more of in the future, because especially as new mercs come out, right? Like, all it takes
scene will change,
like a handful of new mercs, and could totally upend what is good and what is not in Pauper.
And I think this really kind of showed too that this is a format that almost feels in that way more accessible, because I think after watching this tournament, it feels like you could, if you wanted to find it, find edges in this type of field, in this type of format, right? Like in the normal where everything is legal, it's that much harder to find edges because everything's so strong. But here, I mean, we saw the players that brought some of the spicier deck lists, some of the spicier, stronger comps, maybe tried to stay as powerful as they could. They got rewarded. Like there were just maybe even better rewards for good deck building decisions, good mind games, and just good pioneering of never being somewhere and having that be in your camp is really cool. So I love it when formats like this kind of open up ways for players to see like, wait a minute, I actually have a sick Pauper comp. Like everyone is sleeping on it, no one knows, and I'm just gonna run through a tournament like this. That's actually really doable. So much harder to do in other formats or just the regular format. So yet another of a long list of upsides for doing stuff like this. So
this was really, really great. Definitely something I think we could see doing more of in the future. It's just, I think it's great getting, I think these kind of community events, like we've had a few in the past, kind of the beginning of Mercs, and we are doing this now. And I think this is really, we talked about before, a great way to kind of shape what the scene can become eventually, right? We're in kind of the early days right now. It's not established. Like, I think almost every tournament's done things at least a little bit differently. And so it's good, we're trying out all these different modes and to see, what's fun to play, what's fun to watch, and what brings some variety, right? Like, I think to me, this was so much more fun to watch and cast than like a regular Mercenaries event because I felt like I was learning along with the players as we were going. Like, nobody had a definitive, like, knowledge of like this is the best comp and I'm going to jam this comp and I'm expecting a lot of it, so I'll put these other two in the sideboard to counter it. No, we had a lot of variety. And again, we did see a few mercs like Samuro and Karen were very prevalent, but I don't think was really too surprising to anyone because they are two of the mercenaries who are just stronger individually and they aren't as hampered by the banning to task 7 equipment as a lot of the other mercenaries are.
Yeah, no, and honestly, even the Karen and the Samuro looked like fine. They look good, like they were strong. But do you need to play them? Not necessarily, not by any means. I mean, there were cool combos in there. We didn't even get to see the one player brought the Mr. Smite Cornelius Rikara combo. I wanted to see more of that. The Rikara looked really good earlier. So I mean, yeah, honestly, there's just more and more to find. So that is going to take it to the end of the night for us. For Tangster behind the scenes, for Zombies, for myself, for the Fighting Pit, for the entire Mercenaries community. Again, hopefully you guys are either watching this live or on this video should go up on Zombies YouTube, I think. Hopefully we should be able to put this up there. That should be a blast. So again,
try and get this up on Monday or something, get the whole VOD up there. So that way people can take a look at it. And then maybe like on Friday, once I've given people a few days to check it out, if they miss the stream, then I'll see about posting just the finals matches. So if people just want like the fun little crazy games we had at the end, they can check that out. If they want to see the whole tournament, they can also go back and watch it whenever they want.
Sick. No, fabulous. All right. Well, then you know where to find us. You'll be able to find Zombies on this YouTube channel that you're probably watching us on right now. Otherwise, you can find us at the Fighting Pit Twitter. If you want to reach any of us, that's really the best way to do it. Otherwise, if you Google Zombies Go Nom, Tangster, or Mullahoo, I'm sure you'll find the places to find us.
But yeah,
I don't think there's anything else left to say.
Just real quick, huge shout out to Tangster for coming up with this idea. This was 100% his idea, and he has been busting his butt behind the scenes, making sure everything is kind of going smoothly. He helped all the players in the brackets. He's been helping us transition between our casting scenes and games. He's just been doing a whole lot. So just want to make sure, he's shouted out here too, because he's doing just as much, if not work, as we are here casting.
For sure. And so I know that Tangster is waving goodbye to everybody in the chat too. And along with the rest of us, that's going to take it to the end. So GG's, if you want to play in a future Pauper tournament, let us know. Maybe we'll have an EU friendly one. More Mercs will be coming out. Stay tuned. More Fighting Pit, more tournaments, more Mercenaries. Absolutely, with a ceiling that we can barely even see at this point coming down into the future. So from all of us here, have a good night.
Peace, everyone.